Why can't every day be like this? No Simple Road. Yeah, no, I've been on that road too.
Should it feel different, like, since it's a new year and this is the first one?
It feels different.
Does it?
A little bit.
I feel...
You look different, Apple.
I feel
definitely smell different.
Yeah.
You know, I know that's something that's different.
What?
We've got a different sponsor.
We do. This episode of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind is brought to you in collaboration with
The Grateful Mountain.
Yeah, we want to welcome the Grateful Mountain as a sponsor to No Simple Road. Thank you, Travis, for joining us.
Thank you, Travis.
Grateful Mountain is tie-dye gear inspired by nature and driven by the dead. Yeah, that's a thing. Whether you are gearing up for, let's say, I don't know, festival run, or intergalactic space travel, or send-offs into the depths of nature.
The Grateful or Dead and Companies at the Sphere.
That too.
Yeah.
Grateful Mountain has the gear to help you slip from one state of consciousness and into another dimension.
Ooh.
They got everything, man. They got coveralls, bibs, pants, shirts, shorts,
stickers.
Yeah.
He makes a bunch of really cool stickers.
New gear is always dropping, and he's always working on new shit. But if you don't see your flavor, size, or color combo, follow them at The Grateful Mountain on Instagram and DM Travis for your special request. Make sure you tell him.
I say
No Simple Road sent you.
He runs a cool Instagram too.
Yeah.
Always cool stuff on there and everything. And he is the one that made my overalls
and mine
and Aaron's.
Yep. And check this out. He's hooking No Simple Road up with free shipping with all orders inside the United States and 20% off your order using the promo code NSR20.
NSR20.
So go to thegratefulmountain.com and check out the amazing work that our brother Travis is doing over there. And I am sure that you will find something that will
inspire,
trip your trigger, make you feel happy, trip you out.
Make you go, whoa.
Make you go woo.
Man.
No, don't woo.
Make you proud to wear it.
So, yeah, welcome to No Simple Road 2025, everybody.
Woo, 2025 edition.
It's all different.
Crap,
it's all different.
It's still Aaron.
It's still Mel.
It's still Apple.
And Darwin's still here.
Yeah.
But we're like, 2.0, but I think we're more like 2.7.
Wouldn't this be like 7.0?
7.0? All right, we could do like
7.0.
But you got to be like 1 year ahead. So we're doing 8.0 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're a year ahead of ourselves.
I agree with that.
All right, I'm talking to myself in the past from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like
things are very different.
Diferente.
Wow.
It is a trip. We are a quarter of a century into the century.
We are officially in the future, everybody.
That's with a PH.
Yeah.
2025.
God damn, a quarter century into the century?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Apple.
Yeah.
Wow, math. Far out, dude.
It's a trip, man.
It is. Does it seem to you like when I say the year 2000 that was 25 years ago?
Absolutely, man, because science is a liar sometimes, but math usually is not.
But it doesn't seem like that.
No, it doesn't.
Man.
Well, and then like the year 2000,
but what would it seem like?
The whole
Aaron?
Y2K 2000 thing, and it does not seem like it's been 25 years.
If you were born in the year 2000, you're 25.
Well, and plus time goes faster as you get older. Because I look at like from 2000, you take 25 years, that would have been 1975. Like 75 to 2000 didn't go that fast because we were like kids.
Oh, yeah.
And going to school, and school takes forever. A school year is like forever.
Uh-huh.
And then you get out of school and it's like click, 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 click. The years just
fly by. All the years combined. I've heard that said. Mel, you have something for us?
Well, I thought it would be cute to introduce something fun and new
Okay.
to No Simple Road, because I was getting a little nostalgic about thinking about No Simple Road. Before you guys came in here, I was like looking at, we have these like 2 8x10 pictures that we got like put on canvas of memories of our things that No Simple Road has done. Like one's from Ophelia's, the other one's from
Northwest String Summit.
Northwest String Summit. And I was
and
like,
then we got the.
that's
not
We
a
have
canvas, but that was
Yeah.
from High Sierra.
Yeah. And then I was thinking of getting one done from Winter Wondergrass. So that's why I was like doing that thing with my phone. And I was thinking about like all these really cool things that No Simple Road has done, like just different things, not just the pictures, but like, and we do interviews, but like the people that have stayed with us. And I was like, oh my God, our guest book is such a cool little memory lane thing. And so I thought it'd be cool to feature an artist, just talk about them briefly and read their insert that they wrote in our guest book, and kind of a cool way to just kind of talk about some of our favorite people that have been here.
So who's on deck?
So on deck is Eggy.
Oh, shit. All right.
So this was February 28th of 2023. And sometimes, depending on who it is, I'll write a little note, right? So I wrote, welcome to PDX, Eggy. Get comfortable, sleep well. If you need anything, just ask. Also sign our guest book and read some of the other pages of previous guests. We love y'all. Enjoy your stay. Love No Simple Road. And then this was our response from the boys. Mel, Aaron, and Apple, thank you for your kindness and generosity in opening up your home to us during our time here in Portland. It is a small reflection of the love and passion the three of you exude daily. We're incredibly honored and grateful to be your friends and can't wait until our paths cross again down this not so simple road. Wishing you all your dreams and joy as you continue following your hearts. Thank you for being our family so far away from home. We love you, Eggy.
Aw, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Eggy's
it's
become
funny.
very special to us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because I know that there's a guest book down there when people stay here, and I know that like we leave it out for them to sign, but I don't think I've read everything that's in there. I forget that it's down there, and then, you know, they leave and we clean up, and you just forget about it.
Yeah. There's some really
I don't.
special.
I always, when somebody leaves, within a few hours usually go to see if they
sign
yeah.
it. Those motherfuckers didn't sign it.
I want to know.
Well, I just want to say how special it was. Just one memory was talking to Jake
In here,
having him by himself on the show, and how it's like I felt like I was meeting a real celebrity. You know, like Jake's presence.
Yeah, he has that kind of vibe persona.
He has such a thoughtful and mindful way of approaching life, really, and also the band and music, and having him here and talking to him, because you forget, like, when a band is a band, they're dope, but then you split open the band with each member, and then you find these little treasure chests.
Each person is
right?
their own little universe.
And so we were able to do that, talking to Jake, and it was a really beautiful memory. And if y'all haven't heard that interview, you should go listen to it. It was in 2023. I know
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year. So probably March of 2023. That was an excellent episode. And Eggy, man, they're on fire. Ever since then, they've only gone higher and higher and up and up. And so if anybody's listening to this episode and you don't know who Eggy is, or you haven't heard about them before, please look them up. They're awesome. Listen to some of our back episodes with Eggy, and
you know that,
and they still did. When they called me and sung me happy birthday on this.
That's really
on
sweet.
my last birthday, when they FaceTimed me, and they're in the van headed to their next gig, and took the time to like sing me happy birthday.
Right.
I was like
Now-
in tears when I got off the phone.
And now Putt is part of that whole scene.
oh my
Helping
gosh,
those guys and working with them, and it's a big web.
not so simple road.
Simple road. Yeah, it's
No.
not for nothing. I mean, Dogs in a Pile and Eggy have kind of risen to the top of the scene right now
Very quickly.
with that run at the Cap and all that stuff. And to hear Pete Shapiro literally say, "This is the future of those bands," like about those bands.
Pete Shapiro is one of the people that are creating the future.
Yeah,
of the
that's
musical scene.
somebody that's.
So he's prophesying himself, or like proclaiming it. You know,
What do they call that? A taste maker? Isn't that what that's called?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Literally what
But that's
called.
what he does. So
tastemaker.
Mhm.
Okay.
if you're under, Peter Shapiro's wing and you're a musician,
You're set.
You know that you're going up, you know, and the only way you could go down is through
Fucking it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fuck it up.
Through your own faults. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out Eggy because I love them. And
Oh, that's really sweet.
well, I mean, I just opened and it was Eggy. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
But we love Eggy.
They get the first spotlight.
Yep.
All right. So we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Which is
So there's very differing opinions on Phish's New Year's Eve performance.
only if you pay attention to others.
Our
No
opinion,
shit.
our opinion across the board here is pretty damn good.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a very polarized.
Pull up
New
what
Year's
you're
Eve.
talking about so I can have
But-
reference because I don't know what you guys are
I'm not
talking
going to
about.
go dig through trash on the internet right now.
Well, you're talking about trash.
I'm just
so
saying-
why not dig through it?
people
That's all. I
People-
will as we're sitting here talking.
go to
Give me an
Reddit,
example.
go to the R Phish subreddit. That's where you're going to
Is
find.
that where the worst
That's where
of
the
Yeah,
the
shit's
because
going to be.
I don't look up any of this stuff. I just either watch the show and love it and talk about how much I love it, or watch the show, don't love it, and say nothing about
But
it.
when have you ever been to a Phish show and been like, that fucking sucked?
When we went to Seattle,
It didn't suck.
I thought it did. Even if it was my attitude, I didn't enjoy the show that night. So
Okay,
and
one show out of 40.
yeah, what? Like, yeah,
Okay.
their odds are amazing.
Yeah, they're killing it.
They're fucking killing it.
I mean, okay, I understand not being into a certain genre of music. Not everybody likes everything, and that's
You should understand that bigger than everybody.
totally understand. I get it, but I think the way that they did what they did on New Year's,
Well, not everybody watched the stream, so you need to.
I don't even know how to talk about it. I don't like.
But nobody even knows what you're talking about.
Phish turned MSG into a rave, basically,
Mhm.
right? It was like Phish house music ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Cadillac Rainbows.
And that face kind of
Yeah,
had a
lots of
little
spaghetti.
New Orleans-y kind of vibe.
yeah, at
yeah, it
one
was
point,
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
at one point, I turned around to Mel and I was like, "Okay, Phish is literally doing a ritual
Oh yeah.
inside MSG."
With those costumes and
Yeah, they birthed the
dancers
goddess.
and yeah,
They really did. They birthed a goddess that is the I don't know
what's the
what.
goddess?
I don't know.
Goddess of what?
Something of thunder. I forget what the
Goddess of what's going on in Trey's
That'd be
mind,
important to know.
mind.
The
Yeah,
goddess of
the-
something thunder, like awful mean thunder or sweet
No,
cute thunder.
Hang on a minute. Hold on. We had to go back to the tape, everybody.
Yeah, we
It's
needed to
Conjurers of Thunder. It was the goddess of conjuring thunder.
Okay.
I mean, in my mind, and I don't know.
Mine.
It's mine. Yeah, man. Like the whole thing started very ritualistic. It almost looked like something from Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, it did.
You know what I mean? Like
yes.
very
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
esoteric
like I said, there
and
was
occulty.
there was at one point they could have done a sacrifice on stage,
And we would all
it would
been
have
like,
gone with
yeah,
it.
that makes
Like,
sense.
whoa.
Gone with it.
Totally,
Yeah.
man. Fuck yeah, get it, Phish. But then at one point it kind of like morphed and became a fucking straight up rave.
Yeah. And if they were side by side, they wouldn't match. But gradually going
Yeah.
into the
And they
other one
transition.
was everything.
Mhm.
That celebratory movement oriented, like disco rave party New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was a gag. I was going to read that. This is one of my favorite reviews on. This is on Live Phish, which I
Oh shit.
that what did they say? That sand was for the ages, which is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Highest energy first tube I've ever seen.
awesome.
That first
Yep.
tube ending the second set, Trey
Mhm.
was just like
So just keep in mind, where Trey's playing all my hits, right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep that in
And
mind.
if you're hating on the EDM, I cannot relate. Not even a fan of EDM, but Phish going in and remixing a song and sampling their own crazy lyrics is hilarious.
Fuck yeah.
That is
They went modern on us and then gave a nod to their ages with Chalk Dust and Grind. Look at us. We may be old. We may be old now, but we still got it.
Dang.
And that they do. God bless this band.
Fuck yeah. Whoever wrote that, amen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
so I mean, you started this whole thing out saying the elephant in the room and all this.
There is a lot of people, if like I said.
But that's what I'm saying. You need to come
Well,
up with something so that we.
I went to the Reddit because I'm not even going to go down that road of neg. I looked at a couple things.
It's bad.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, some people are just like sucked all cat.
well, that's
Shit like that.
That's
This
nothing
one-
to say after
this
that.
one somebody posted a meme. It's the guy. It's the scene from Jurassic Park. He's like, "Hey, this guy over here didn't like the New Year's Eve gag." He turns around and he goes, "See, no one cares."
It's true, man. Look,
If you're
in the past 3 years, one of the most controversial things that has come out of the Grateful Dead community, besides the Sphere run and continuing that thing, is LPGOB remixing Jerry Garcia Band and Grateful Dead stuff. And
Pardon me.
Phish LPGOB'd themselves on New Year's Eve, literally.
yes.
Yeah.
And
You can
so,
look at it that
first
way
of
for
all,
sure.
congratulations, LP, on having an extreme
Influence.
influence and
yeah.
effect on our musical world to the point where Phish did it before you could get your hands on it. Right? Like they were like, this shit's dope and we're going to do it to ourselves.
Well, I mean, that's you assuming that they're saying
Right.
that. They maybe
I
they're
don't
just
fucking know.
Oh yeah.
course not.
Yeah.
Look, disclaimer,
the
just so y'all know,
opinions
this is No Simple Road and we're a podcast and this is our opinion. So
Ta-da.
The thing to me that matters the most, and I said that, and then we all kind of said it, and I think most people agree on this, is I don't care what they're playing or doing. If they're having that much fun together on stage as four best friends for 40-something years, that's all that matters.
totally.
They're having so much fun. They are smiling the way they play off each other. It doesn't matter. They're bringing love
Well,
and light
Also,
all the time.
Like to me, I feel like it's Phish. They're a band that's been around, like you said, 40 years. You have to do different stuff. If you
keep it
stay
interesting
if
for
you have
you.
the same exact marriage for 40 years, that's going to be the most boring marriage in the universe.
and if you're
Yeah.
playing the same song the same way for 40 years,
Exactly.
Have the
Doesn't shit
same
anymore.
dinner every
No one
night. I just
cares.
want pizza again.
I just
Yeah,
want
no.
beige spaghetti.
No. So what they're
Beige,
doing is
right
always
on.
being better, like individuals, and then that in turn creates a better band. And they're giving their longtime fans newness constantly. Oh, you don't like that newness? Next week we're going to do a different newness. So maybe you'll like that one.
Suck on my
Like,
newness.
Yeah, they're constantly bringing out new stuff.
Weenus.
So it's like, okay, wait till freaking, spring tour. Then you're all of a sudden now you're going to be on Phish again. People can be fair weather, but Phish, they're doing their thing and they don't
Well,
they do care
Well, and-
what
and-
people think, but they're not doing it because they care.
And when they constantly do this thing that a lot of people that aren't into like the bands we're into don't get, is seeing like them do the same songs again and again. It like, to me, that my friend,
oh my God.
they went into, and people
was
said
dark.
that they're like that was a long one. They did a long my friend, and it was dark, and it
It was great.
and that
Mhm.
first two, like to see them take a song that we've been hearing for years and make it new again all the time.
Here's the other part of it is like, I talked to Sax
Mhm.
the morning after, and he was like, what did you think of the gag of the show? And I was like, it was fucking amazing. It was one of my favorite New Year's that I've seen. And he was like, me too. And he also said about 80% of the people that he spoke to that were in the room hated it and didn't get it, didn't like it. And that's wild to me because as psychedelic people that love trippy shit and like to get out there, that was fucking out there. There was a lot of levels to that performance. Yes, it was a Phish show. It was also a lot of other things, depending on what headspace you were in.
Yeah, it was.
Because I know I was getting a real clear message on what was going down.
What was it?
It was, for me, it was a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a justification, like a confirmation of the reality of a lot of the things that go on in my head. The experience that you and I had at Dick's on that final night this last year, I felt like what we saw on stage was a physical representation of what happened to us at that show. Okay. Like that goddess or whatever that thing was at the front of the stage, almost conducting what was happening with the music. The movements that thing was having was affecting the music. The music was affecting that thing. It was the instigator of the magic that was going down. So in my head, I saw it as like, holy shit, that was that's a representation,
a visual
of
representation.
Your trip being short or whatever.
Your trip is short.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you could see it a lot of different ways. And I think that, like, I feel like the folks that hate stuff like that are not seeing deeper into it, or not trying to.
Well, it's also preference. Sometimes people, I don't want to think. I just want to go to a show and have fun and dance. I'm not trying to be on no crazy level. That's a way to view a show. Like, I just want to party down. I don't want all this. Like, no,
well,
I want.
You don't go to New Year's MSG then. Yeah.
And then people like classic stuff. That's a real thing.
But
people like an original root beer or plain vanilla ice cream or no freaking.
I was gonna say you're in the wrong boat for the wrong tour.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because Phish is dope, and you can always count that they're going to do something good, and you can hear your regular songs that you always love and meet your friends, but a thing is going to happen at Phish show. The thing is
especially
going to happen.
Is going to happen.
New Year's MSG.
Yeah.
That's why I love there was so much that happened other than that also, like around it and everything. There were so many teases of their songs and other people's songs all within that and everything. And then how Trey addresses like the debates from last year, like did they play every song?
Game Hinge?
And when he came out there, that was precious. When he is having so much fun, he is ear to ear smile and having a hard time
keeping his shit together
without laughing, addressing all these things, and then does the whole Iculus, and then
it's fucking done. Are you guys happy? Read the fucking book.
It's been a year. Read the fucking book. And he's like cracking up. And then the encore, when they come back out and they do the acapella thing and the days, they're having so much fun. It's hard to think of a band that's having as much fun as them.
Do you, Apple, have a favorite moment from that night? From the show?
A favorite moment from that night? Probably the first tube at the end of the second set, because we were couch touring. Obviously, we weren't at MSG, and we had a great group of friends over. And I like looking at the set list. It kind of halfway through the first set is when it all kind of started kicking in, when they got to Stash. Because then the participation comes in. We're all clapping and we're all joking too, like no clap on the third, and then it just went from there. And
it's true.
That second set is where that first tube got the energy so high,
and then they stopped,
and then they took a break, and then we all took a break and to get ready for the third set, and then that third set, just the entire thing. The whole thing from when they came out, it was just on.
There was a moment, my favorite moment. I don't know what song was playing. It was during the EDM set.
Okay.
And we were couch touring in our living room, and we had 2 other couples, and Connor, and us, and Apple,
And Ryder was hanging.
and Ryder, and Darwin, and you had somehow ended up out on the porch, in
the front.
in the front of the house, not the
Yeah.
back of the house
Yeah.
where we always hang out, but the front, so you could still see the TV, but the sliding glass door was closed. And I went out there with you, and we closed the door, but you could still hear the music and see everybody and see the TV.
Mhm.
And it was like pouring rain outside, and it was cold. And we had Apple had started a glow stick war inside the house. Or no, Jordan started a glow stick war.
Yeah, he
inside
declared
the
a
house.
Apple
war.
brought them
and
out.
then-
Jordan
and
started.
I happily joined in, and then we stood behind you guys throwing them at your heads.
Yeah, and you and I ended up out on the porch with our glow sticks dancing together.
That was
And
cute.
that was my favorite part
Aw.
of the night.
That's
there was a
cool.
lot of fun shit that happened.
that was a lot of fun,
but that was, I felt like we melted into each other for a good 15, 20 minutes.
that was great.
And I'm so glad I like that. I'm glad I went and did that day. With last minute.
Wait, hang on. When you came home with them, I was like, oh my God, fucking Apple bought glow sticks. Oh, what the fuck?
How cheesy.
In my head. How lame. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you had
And
that.
you shut me all the way the fuck up. I was so stoked.
I went to the local vape head shop and got a small tank, like a $60 nitrous tank.
Oh my God,
just enough for the
Apple.
evening. I wanted a nitrous tank, and it was like doing balloon. It was a hit. It was like doing balloons on the floor at MSG all night because you
It was
could
great.
do them as we wanted. And then I'd forgotten. We were all having so much fun watching the show. I'd forgotten about the glow
It was
sticks.
during the rave set.
Which was perfect. I forgot until the 3rd set and was like, oh shit, went over there and broke like 30 of them, got them all glowing, and then stepped around the corner and just threw them in the living room at everybody. And it was like, what? Ah! And everybody started picking them up, and it was so fun. Those little accessories make it so fun in a Phish show.
Jordan started a slow motion pillow fight during Pillow Jets.
I missed that. I think
It was
that's where me
fucking hilarious.
and Jamie were in the kitchen, and we're like, Pello Jets is a good time to do that. Pello Jets, it like starts slow, and then it gets into the jam, and we were in the kitchen, kind of like we were being
Nudges.
yeah, together, like like how I think everybody that's a Phish fan has those songs. Like a lot of people, you hear, Sigma Oasis, time to go to the bathroom, and get a drink, Farmhouse, and,
Numberline.
yeah, there's certain ones, and the beginning of Pello Jets, like this is a good time to take a break for a minute, get a drink, get ready for what's to come.
This New Year's,
But Pello Jets got amazing.
this
also.
New Year's and last New Year's really made me a fan of Couch Tour.
yeah.
It made me a fan of Couch Tour.
Well, yeah, especially this year because we stepped it up. We got a bigger TV and the living room being rearranged. It would have not been the same experience if it was the way
Absolutely
we
not.
would
Oh, no
all
way.
felt crowded
It would
in
have been
there.
Uchi.
Yeah, there was so much room
And
for
we
activities.
could use our outside now. That is another, like that feeling of being able to like where the couch is placed, you can just go in and out of outside, but still be a part of the party. It just felt really like spacious and open.
Yeah, it really did like.
And the fire, having a fire at the Phish show.
In the fireplace.
In the fireplace, that was amazing.
Yeah, we decided, everybody, that we're bringing a fire pit to every Phish show with us from now on. So just look for the fire pit and the smoke. That'll be
Okay.
No
in the
Simple
middle
Road.
of the floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
My-
I also we're bringing the sectional sofa too for when we want
My
to
of course.
favorite part musically that night was that sand. Because I was having a really hard time getting into anything in the first set. We had like the whole pizza debacle and it was like smoke and we were hungry and we were waiting and like all this stuff. So like the first set was kind of hard to get into. And there was just at some point, me and Jamie literally were in mid like sentence and sand came on and I jumped up and just started like getting after it.
We
And
have to go back. And
Well, I was just gonna say that was Jan. That was second set because they opened set 2 with Sigma Oasis, and then they went into that 20-minute my friend into 13-minute sand.
we have to go back and give context to the smoke.
I think that's fine.
This
That's
gets an
fine enough.
no.
An honorary
This
mention.
gets an honorable mention. So if you follow No Simple Road on Instagram, and if you listen to the show, you know that I've been getting into sourdough baking. And for New Year's, for everybody that came over, I made
We're making sourdough pizzas.
sourdough pizza dough. And so our buddy Jordan was like, hey, do you want me to bring my Uni outdoor pizza oven with me? And I was like, well, fuck yeah, I made this awesome pizza dough. Please bring your thing. So he gets here, he busts out the Uni. We get out on the table. He forgot the regulator and the hose that connects to the fucking propane thing.
Well, the great part was also that when I got home, you were all fucking upset about the dough that you were making.
Yeah.
You were like, feverishly overtaking, doing all this stuff. And the dough didn't come out perfect. So you were frustrated. You were making new dough. So you were all bummed out. You wanted it to be perfect. So I'm sure that's how he felt.
Totally how he felt. And so he was like, I'm going to drive back home and go get the piece that I forgot, which is exactly what I would have done in that same situation. I'd be like, fuck that. I brought this thing all the way over here. I'm going back and getting the thing.
I'm completing the task.
So we wait. He comes back with a different pizza oven, an indoor one that plugs in because he couldn't find the thing. And we plug in and he's like, oh, by the way, it smokes a little bit. And I was like, that's fine. And then literally
cut to
the entire house.
It was like a fog machine.
Filled with smoke.
It was so crazy in there. I walked in from the other room and I was like, what the hell is happening in here? I thought we were making pizza. It was so dark and so black. And okay, then we had to open all the doors. That one door in our kitchen was not enough. We had to open the garage door.
We had to open
our front door. We had to open our living room door. It was every single door was open and it was still foggy AF.
I didn't tell you about this. Sean texted me yesterday and was like, hey man, we were talking about New Year's and what a good time we had and reminiscing about the smoke, and we realized that no smoke alarm went off that whole night, and we're concerned about you guys. And
that's Jordan asked about that. He was like, I'm surprised the smoke alarms didn't go off. And he was out talking to me and Ryder. Me and Ryder just kind of looked at each other and we're like, yeah, they're all on a pile in the garage, disassembled because they used to go off all the time.
They were so annoying.
So
we were fine.
But I'm going to tell you something. I am so grateful that he brought that pizza oven.
Me too.
Because that thing cooks a mean fucking pizza and it saved my dough. So thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, and it all turned out. Yeah, it all turned out
Everything
wonderful.
turned out great.
And that I was out front when the smoke. I had no idea what was going on. I was hanging out front, and all of a sudden I realized the front door is wide open, and I get up kind of pissed off. I'm like, "What are you guys doing? It's fucking 40 degrees out, and you got the door." And Mel was like, "Look," and I looked. In the living room, the kitchen, I saw the smoke, and then I realized the smoke was coming towards the front door and just pouring out. Then I went and opened the garage door to help, and it's just venting out. You could see it coming outside by the floodlights, just smoke pouring out.
So yeah, we decided that he's in charge of lighting and smoke next year.
The fog machine.
Yeah, he's Kuroda.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was all fun. And the next day, by later that evening, the house smelled like nothing other than good bud. Because we decided, well, the house is smoked out. We might as well let's smoke inside.
You could smoke weed in the house tonight. So
that's enough.
Yeah.
For that.
What? Oh my God, we smoke weed. Holy shit.
I'm going to give a shout out here too for anybody that lives up in Oregon or visits Oregon. Take the time to seek out Evans Creek Farms.
Oh.
Evans Creek is making some of the best weed in all of Oregon.
And you know, if Apple's saying it's the best weed.
Yeah, a special shout out.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It's just amazing stuff.
And he's not wrong at all.
And so, yeah, smoking that in the house is okay. It's totally fine. That's like incense. Back to New Year's. So when everything kind of wrapped up and they did the New Year's Auld Lang Syne and the show ended, I figured everybody was going to hang out for a little while. And everybody just kind of disappeared within 30 minutes except for us and Connor. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Well, and just like us, we were out too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because people have
Pets and
kids.
children.
They needed to get home to stuff. But it did happen quick. I thought Jordan, because we were all having fun and joking all night, and it was like 10 after 12 or so. Or, well, no, it was later than that, because Phish played for a little while after. But it was as soon as the show finished, within a few minutes, Jordan's like, okay, we got to say goodbye. Our lift is going to be here in 3 minutes. And in my mind, I'm like, haha, that's funny. You guys drove your cars here in the driveway. And they're like, what are you talking? And he was serious. It was like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And so Connor put on a Dark Star.
Oh, my God.
This 45-minute Dark Star. Do you remember the date, Apple?
It was, I know it was Cleveland, Ohio, 1973.
Okay.
The month.
December 6th or 12th?
I don't know. I'm sure it's the only time they played in Cleveland, Ohio that year. If you went to look it up, it was 1973, Cleveland, Ohio.
Just go look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, he also said that he goes, if you guys want to hear it again, it's on your Patreon. I put it on there.
Yeah, it is on our Patreon. I remember when he put it on.
So there it is.
It is the single most incredible Dark Star out of all the Dark Stars I've ever listened to. It was almost like I can't even put it into words. There's a section in there of Phil feeding back Osiris and like playing with the feedback, and it felt like heat waves. Like if you could ride on a heat wave.
It reminded me, it was like acid test.
Yeah.
It did not seem, because we were like picturing that was going on in
an arena
in Cleveland, Ohio. And this was before they had come up with space and drums.
Right.
It was like space and Dark Star and everything mixed together.
I would have never been able to guess what we were listening to if I didn't know it was Dark Star. I wouldn't have known like what instruments, what band, if it was a band. It just sounded like
technology,
noises and technology and
extended notes,
like
parts
like beige mantras, like,
yeah,
you know, just weird stuff. And so in addition,
oh my God,
at this point, we're like, I felt like my gong needed to be up there. Like I just kept feeling the need for my gong. And so I brought it up and started playing the gong through this Dark Star. And because like what you were just saying about heat waves and riding on, like the sound wave of the gong was like,
felt like the music.
Yes. It felt like the music so much. It was incorporating that was the best part of the night.
It was a trip. And as soon as the Dark Star ended, he put on
Split Open and Melt
from like 93 or 94.
I don't remember.
And then I started playing the gong, and I remember thinking like, is what I'm doing annoying everybody? I'm going to stop. And I stopped, and the energy in the room, like if you dropped a weight, it was just like boom. Energy just flopped, and I was like, holy shit, that was the gong.
You were maintaining that energy field, and at the same time I felt like it was like sonically vibrating and massaging my back. Like it felt like when you give me a back rub. Like I could feel
you saying that.
I could feel your energy through the sound on like massaging me.
Wow.
Like I felt that shit. That's why I was like, I don't want you to stop. When you stopped, I was no, don't stop. It felt like you were freaking rubbing my shoulders and my upper back. I was in heaven.
Well, like I said, if you're at your next Phish show, if you know that we're going to be there, just look for the sectional sofa, the gong, and the fire pit. That's us.
And the small nitrous tank.
And the little tiny nitrous tank.
But we're not going to tarp because that's so wrong.
No tarp. The couch is enough. The couch will hold our spot.
Yeah, man.
I was going to bring up something like back to the show because this is crazy. Like the times on things. It's that whole what's going through your mind.
Oh my gosh.
The Auld Lang Syne and what's going through your mind. That was the whole gag part and everything. That was only 18 minutes.
What? It felt like all night.
It was only 18 minutes compared to the my friend. That
was 4
20
hours,
minutes. No, that's why I looked at this the next day and was like, that was only 18 minutes. And then they went into chalk dust torture, slave to the traffic light, life-saving gun.
When the transition happened from the EDM, what's going through your mind, into chalk dust, it was a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were in one type of psychedelic space and they ripcorded you back into Phish space.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
I was going to mention this because I didn't see any relevance, but I do want to talk about this because it's really impacting the way that I'm thinking about things. And it's that telepathy tape podcast.
Oh yeah.
You told me about it. And the very, very next day at 5:30 in the morning, a coworker asked me if I had listened to it. That very next day.
Credit where credit is due. Matthew McDonald from P Group.
Okay,
is
so
the one that turned me on to telepathy.
Okay, so thank you, Matthew. Always, everything always goes back to Matthew. So so Matthew tells you, you tell me, my coworker tells me again, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll listen to this. Like number 2, in less than 24 hours. So I start listening to it and quickly just was able to listen to it a lot. And some of the stuff that they're talking, well, actually all of the stuff that they're talking about is so
applicable
out there. And well, I mean, I think that everybody can kind of have a certain sense or maybe even a story in dealing with telepathy, some type of way where, like, everybody talks about the phone call. You're thinking of calling your mom calls you, whatever. Or, synchronicities. We talk a lot about that here. This is what they're talking about and what's possible, and what's actually occurring. So there's possibility and then comma, what's occurring. Mm-hmm. So there's both happening at the same time of people, verbal and nonverbal, being able to have these telepathic conversations with each other. The podcast is mainly about autistic nonverbal kids, but as you get further into the season, you start to realize that that there's a huge chunk of this population that can do this, but they're not doing it only with themselves. They're doing it with people that are like you and I, that can talk, that are mothers, fathers, teachers, elders in the community, and they're communicating telepathically with these people and showing them how to do that.
And these nonverbal autistic kids are, without meeting each other, meeting up in a non-local space that they all know about and call the same thing.
It's called the Hill.
Without talking to each other
and there's
meeting each other.
There's also multiple hills. There's the Hill, and there's also multiple, like, say regionally or whatever. Or I found out there's a hill for just Israelis, like, or just Jews. Like, that was the one. Like, again, going later into these episodes, now we're learning more, not more than just the children. We're learning about like adults and how it's kind of evolved. And how these, I mean, some of them have perfect pitch. Some of them are incredible with music. They talk about what the difference of savant and non-savant is. And it's just it's mind-boggling. And the part that I wanted to bring up was about the scientific community. And the reason that, one of the reasons this podcast exists is because it's a voice to the voiceless, right? It's sharing a story, of people who can't tell their own stories. And within that is silencing, and how the government and these organizations, scientific communities, are shutting down this type of knowledge because of the type of science that it would mean for the scientific community to accept.
Because all science is based in rationality and
Materialism.
Yeah, they'd have to go back to the drawing board
Mm-hmm.
on
and
so
this,
much
this
stuff.
flies in the face.
And
of all
so
that.
you said a paradigm shift. That's what made me think about this. It's like right now in 2025, there's a huge paradigm shift occurring.
Don't you think that is what we're experiencing? Is that space?
Well, this is why I'm talking about all of
Yeah.
it's connected. We're what happened to us last year at Dick's, and then these things now. Also, like you're with your friends and your buddies at MSG, and you call the next song, and you just knew it, and
Sean
you were
was
right.
doing that shit.
Yeah, you were right, and it's all of these things that you can get linked in to as heavy and as you want to, or as light as you want to, like depending on your involvement or like
I think
your
it has
mental.
to do with your belief.
Well, it has to do with the belief, but it also has to do with you preparing your body. Like a lot of these teachers and the spellers, this is what they call them. They have to empty their mind to be able to do this. Like they can't be thinking about their grocery list or whatever. So they're finding ways to quote unquote ground themselves, like whatever that means. Clear your mind, ground yourself.
They unhead the knee.
Unhead the knee, and then the child or the person, the non-speaker, can literally use their eyes, their ears, their knowledge base, even what they're learning, what they're reading. If the information is in there, they can tap into it. And I feel like these people, kids and adults alike, they are the paradigm shift.
It totally makes
They're
sense.
bringing it on.
If you think about like Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
right? And you have like Wi-Fi signal in your house you can use your phone to tap into the internet, right? And it's non-local.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the air, and your phone, you can like point your phone in the direction of the information you want it to go in, and it uses the Wi-Fi to get that signal and go to that spot. It's energy, right? That's frequency and energy in motion working. We're the same thing. Our brains are electric and are working in frequency. And so we are the Wi-Fi and the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It totally makes sense.
So when you make those conditions favorable, then you can receive the messaging.
Like a ritual at a Phish show.
Yes, or sitting down and, meditating and letting your mind empty and see what comes.
Or dancing ecstatically at a show until your mind is empty, and then
Becoming part of the band.
Yep.
That's the thing, that's what's dope about human beings and Earth, is that there's not a one size fits all. And even though these kids are all talking about the ways that they can communicate, there's not only one way. There's a mother who communicates with her son strictly through lucid dreaming. And
That's so fucking
she's
wild.
helped him make 2 albums already by being the scribe of information he's feeding to his mom. He finds her in a dream, wakes her up in the dream state, tells her the message,
So fucking rad.
and then she wakes up and is feverishly writing to get all of the words out, and then goes back to sleep and gets more messaging to finish this thing. And then when they go to the studio, she's helping him say these words. And if the words aren't in proper order, he just he knows it's not right. He will change a melody or change a lyric, or
That's fucking wild.
it's insane. So the possibilities, guys, / what is already happening is bananas.
Boundless.
It's bayayos.
Banana.
Yayo.
It's bananas. B-A-N-N-A-S.
So
No,
I just wanted to throw that out there. It was just a
B-A-Y-Y-O-S.
thought I didn't want to keep with me till next week, because I think that if you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, you should totally do it.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by them. It's just information that needs to be
We should get that lady on the
shared.
show.
I would love Kira or Kia.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. That's one reason I'm looking forward to going back to work this week.
So you can listen to
That's
some
when I listen.
podcasts.
Yeah, that's the only time I really listen to podcasts is in driving.
That brings me to my second point about Phish New Year's. The I want everybody to notice the name of the last album that Phish dropped. Evolve. Come on, man. It's in the fucking title of the album. You can't just do the same shit all the time. You have to evolve and do different, cool, rad shit. So just saying.
Well, then that's what I love. That's one thing I love with Phish too. When people get like poo poo on the new stuff, it's like they are always good at a healthy mix of a salute to the old as well as the new. They're never playing just the new. Like we don't play the old stuff anymore.
Oh yeah,
there is always a mix of everything they do.
I think that Cam had a really good post about old Phish fans with the like monocle fancy, and the fancy. Yeah. Yeah. I think pretty much summed it up. So well done, Cam. It really did get the spirit of somebody shitting on New Year's Eve. Please go follow at Mr. Cam. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, man. What an incredible way to ring in 2025.
Yeah, and you're going to be, hopefully, this week we may be getting a Phish announcement.
I heard through the grapevine that Tuesday we're getting, or tomorrow. That would be tomorrow.
We will find out how to plan our year.
Yeah, who knows? It could have been bullshit. Something I read somewhere.
No, that's another thing fun with like Phish is the rumor mills.
Oh yeah,
going.
It's never fucking ending.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop.
And the truth is always in there somewhere, it seems like. Like
maybe
it's sprinkled within all the rumors.
Maybe
like,
not.
Yeah.
You know, it's the truth.
Who's
man.
to say?
Who's to say? I don't know.
Trey and the boys, they're who get the final word.
Mel, do you have any final tidings for 2025 for everybody?
Yeah, I just say keep your mind abierto, open this year. Keep your mind open. Don't be so closed off. Don't think that you know everything. I don't know shit. I'm learning so much all the time. I can't even talk about how much I'm learning because it just keeps happening. And I just feel like as long as we stay open, then we can evolve with Phish too.
Yeah. I remember New Year's morning, I stumbled out of our room and went in to get some coffee, and Connor was there, and he was like, so I'm curious, man, like, what are you going to say about the New Year's show on No Simple Road? And I was like, honestly, man, I don't even know how to fucking talk about what happened last night. Like, I don't even know how to, like, Phish is great. The show was good. Music was on point.
Well,
like,
in a nutshell, that's true.
But it doesn't even like it's like pulling a drop out of the ocean. Do you know what I mean?
But that's why we have a podcast, because we can talk for almost an hour and a half or whatever about it, and we're sharing what the ocean was.
The Phish good.
The ocean was love.
New Year's fun. Yay.
Thank you for tuning in. That was our 1 minute podcast.
Well, but this is why it's our favorite band. There's so much depth to it. We could have talked about their outfits. We could have talked about the set list. We could have talked about the theme. We could have talked about our friends being there. We could talk, you know what I mean? Like, they're amazing. They have a unique position in culture and also in our life. And I'm super stoked and glad that we found them, like, for real.
I think one of the coolest things I saw around that was the next morning when you showed me the picture on Instagram of Trey curled up.
Asleep on Sadie.
Curled up with Sadie, just with the look of like exhaustion and happiness.
Contentment.
With the puppy. That like summed up the whole 4-day run, the whole year, everything, seeing Trey like that.
Take a look at Darwin right now. He looks exactly like a fur missile.
Okay, I'm not finished with this. I'm going to clue you guys into a piece of, like, it's a letter that I'm writing to Trey, but I didn't finish it, but I want to share because this is when we were on the,
I remember. Yeah.
Remember we were on the porch the next morning talking about what we're going to eat. And I was like, I wonder how many letters Trey gets thanking him for, like, and let me say this before I finish that sentence. When I say Trey, I mean Phish. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to exclude Paige or Mike or anybody, but Trey, he's just like the figurehead.
He's the conductor.
He's the conductor, exactly. Like, so I'm saying Trey, but I mean Phish, but also Trey. So anyway, I was saying, I wonder how many freaking letters they get thanking them for what they do. Like, I mean,
how would you send them letters?
Is it countless? And that's what I was thinking. Like, would you send it to their fan club? Like, how do you know that they get it?
Is there
like,
a fan club?
What? There's got to be. But like, how do you do that? And so I guess because we've got this outlet, I can.
Well, I just said you can send a one-time DM to anybody.
Yeah. So this is the middle of my, like, a portion of my letter. I haven't finished it, but this is what it says. Trey, I'm sure you get tons of Phish fans sharing their gratitude for you and all the joy you bring, and you deserve to know. This is my version of why I'm grateful for Phish, but for you, Trey, specifically. New Year's Eve show 2025, what's going through your mind, was a moment in time that changed. The Phish house, this isn't who it would be if it wasn't who it is. Somehow it felt like a magic answer appeared. But in an instant, I felt a relief of some sort that a lot of my minor, unsolved, unanswered questions were answered. What a relief. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's what I meant about how it would not.
It's like
it was a confirmation of stuff.
Yes, like it's answered some questions I didn't even know I needed to have answered. I wasn't even asking them.
It isn't who it would
but
be.
But then
if it wasn't who it
also
is.
It was an extreme relief. Like, oh God, thank God he told me that. Like, but what was it that he told? Nothing. It wasn't what it would be if it wasn't who it is. Like, that's
Cadillac rainbows and lots of spaghetti, Mel.
It's a percussion rinse.
Yeah.
It was
science.
It was a fucking percussion rinse, man.
But so that's I'm not done. Trey will get it someday.
All right. Well, we love y'all, and we'll be back on Friday. We're starting back up with normal scheduled, no simple.
No,
road.
it's not going to be normal. It's going to be abnormal.
I hope
Abnormal.
everybody had. Well, we're now on the other end of it. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season, however you celebrate. Hope you had a good time. And now we're in 2025, and I just want to piggyback on what Mel was saying. Let's all keep our minds open, because not just 2024, but like the last 5 years have kind of showed how much we don't know. And how much is possible. Like, it's like just quit discounting stuff because of what we've been taught and what has been the normal, because stuff is changing and stuff is coming forward, and you need to be open to it to not get overwhelmed by it.
Well said, Apple.
Well said. Yeah, man. And hey, again, welcome Grateful Mountain to the No Simple Road family of sponsors at The Grateful Mountain on Instagram, thegratefulmountain.com. And Travis, thanks, man.
One more
shout out from the mountaintop.
One more thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
10,000 times for the beautiful, heartfelt, thoughtful poster package that you sent. No Simple Road.
Y'all will see it soon.
Fucking love the thought that went into each one that you picked. You've done way more posters than what you sent us, but what you sent us was so specific and curated, and I just want to, it's like your playlist, dude. You fucking sent a poster playlist to us that was beautiful and thoughtful. You know us, and I just want to say thank you.
Hell yeah.
We have the
we're gonna have an Andrew wall.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
I got 2 of them framed already. I work on getting the other ones all done. We're gonna have like a
at some Saxy art
wall.
We have the coolest Wookson on the planet.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. All right, everybody. Happy 2025. And we will see you on Friday. Until then, take care of each other. Smile at a stranger.
Stay open.
Safety third. Hydrate. And you know what? Be open, man. Because you don't know about stuff. All right? We love y'all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
This is the story of Whitney Houston,
This is the story of Kurt Cobain,
of George Michael, of Otis Redding, of Amy Winehouse, of Michael Hutchence, Bob Marley. This is the story of Prince,
It's a new podcast series.
about how they died, why they died, and why we're still talking about them so long after.
It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's storytelling.
But it's more than that, because rock stars,
They tell us how we feel. They change our mood,
they change the clothes we wear, the people we hang out with.
the way we remember things.
It's them who give us those ludicrous moments, the ones where you...
Jumping around, singing your heart out, feeling understood.
And it's those moments we'll help you remember, the ones you're thinking about right now.
That feeling
That feeling.
is coming soon from Crowd Network.
Just search for Death of a Rock Star on your podcast app.
And subscribe now.